Okay. Good evening. This is the Dayton Historical Commission meeting. It's June 10th. I'm going to call the meeting to order and it is 6:04. Okay. I'm Pat Gales, the Historical Commission Chair.
Rafa Delphine, Vice Clerk and Chair, Vice Chair and Clerk. Sorry.
Shara Costa member.
Pat Olson.
Irene Alley.
Zach Karen.
Okay. This meeting is being recorded and will be shown on Dayton's YouTube channel. The listing of the matters are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. And we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The secretary's report. Did everyone get the revised one that I sent today? Any questions? Okay, so a motion to accept the minutes, the revised minutes as submitted.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay. Just in case. All right. Our budget, I have two here. The DeVol printing for the copies of the West Dayton survey cost us $50. And our office supply order that we made from WB Mason was $27.13. And so I have the invoices to be signed. So Pat and Rafa, if you just sign the first one, and then the two bills are here too that need to be signed. Actually, there's three because they separated them out.
You're right.
Yeah, yeah. So I reached out to CAI. They're working on the map. I looked at the preliminary map today for the 10 properties that Stacy did. It looked good to me. I think they're waiting for some input from her. I asked about, when they'd have an invoice, so hopefully before June 30th, otherwise we'll have to encumber the funds. And that was estimated between 350 and 550 for that, way back when.
Okay. And we'll have money to cover that.
Yeah, we have money to cover that. We'll actually have $500, $514 in our budget that will be returned to the free cash, the general fund. And those were, and that's because we had planned for the conference that none of us went to because it was out, so far away and the content wasn't really that appropriate for us. And also we had planned for historical markers because we're having trouble with the vendors then. So that's the reason why we have that. Sometimes things just don't work in your favor. Our FY 26 budget is now $600, as voted at annual town meeting last night.
And what's going to happen if we don't have enough?
You don't spend it.
I know.
You can't spend what you don't have. Yeah. So we'll have to figure out how we're,
What if we had work done that they want to bill for and we're like, we can't do it?
say that again?
Like what happens if we get a bill for something? Like,
Oh, we
and
have to
we-
be, yeah, no, we have to be conscious of spending within our money.
Mhm.
You
Can
know,
you go back to special town meeting though and ask for more if we need it?
we could, yeah.
I'm just gonna recommend that.
Yeah,
We need it.
we could, yeah, we could if we have, a legitimate reason why.
Did they ever say why they hacked that budget like that?
Well, I think some of it is they looked at our spending pattern and because we haven't spent the bulk of our budget, they looked at it and say they're not spending it. So, this is more realistic. But what happens for us is that a lot of the things that we do aren't like a monthly bill.
Mhm.
You know, it's a project bill, so the project doesn't come due until like
You
June.
can go a
Yeah.
year and spend nothing, but then 6 months to spend twice the amount you did do the past 3 years. Depends on like what
Yes.
you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, right. So it's, you know, it's not the same like the other departments. They have certain, you know, bills that come in every month, you know. Ours isn't like that. We started the West Dayton survey, you know, and then you don't pay anything until it's done. We can't make copies of it until
Mm-mm.
it's done, you know, so.
And I think too, now where we've got a full board, and I think we're a little more active than in previous years.
Yeah,
I think we're
and,
gonna,
and I think, you know, when I thought about it for this year, you know, we ran into stumbling blocks, or, you know, the one thing was losing the vendor for the markers, because we had 2 markers planned, you know.
Such a good vendor.
Yeah, going to the conferences, you know, we'd planned that, you know, for people to go, and the ones that, there was only one in the fall that was offered, that was really appropriate. The one then June was June 2nd, wasn't really
Mhm.
that much good content. So, I mean, those kinds of things are out of our control. Can't predict what the content of a conference is going to be until you see their syllabus. What's beeping?
I don't know, there's somebody downstairs that's
I
been
heard
slamming
a bang
doors.
twice downstairs.
Oh,
Her?
huh,
That beeping I heard just the first time just now.
Yeah.
huh. Oh, well, we'll find out, I guess. So, I mean, you know, we'll, you know, take a look at our budget. We have to make a decision on, you know, how we're going to appropriate that, you know, what's going to work best for us. We do, even though we assign monies to the different line items, it's still, in the end, like one line item can be in the negative, you know, depending on, you can
Hmm.
overspend in one line item as long as you
As long
don't
as one is,
overexpend
yeah.
your
The
total
total
amount,
amount.
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So,
Like we spend way more on professional and technical, but also nothing on office supplies, but
Right.
kind of thing. Okay.
right. So I'm thinking like maybe in July, we should discuss how we're going to divvy up that 300, that 600, what's going to be our priorities.
Especially if by then we have the final invoice from Stacy.
Oh, we're all set with Stacy. She's all done, but we'll have the CAI
I'm
technologies.
sorry, that we'll have that final invoice by July.
We should have that hopefully by June 30th. If we don't, we'll
Oh.
encumber the funds. And they're usually, once their project is done, you know, I think last time it was by the end of July, they had their invoice in. But once those funds are from this year,
Hmm.
Right, okay.
And aren't you given a leeway to get your bills in by a certain time
Yeah.
into the new budget and it's not considered going over? You know, like sometimes when people spend money right at like the last 2 days of the month,
oh yeah, there's yeah,
there's
Oh.
yeah. There's a
Grace period.
Yeah, so,
It's not that you've gone and spent it as of July. It's what has been
Right.
coming in and the bills haven't gotten.
right, there is a grace period. So,
Were the flash drives part of the office supplies? The flash drives?
Yeah. Yeah, we got the flash drives, notebooks, and the archival sheets and dividers. Oh, I meant to bring the flash drives for you. So, okay. So next, does anyone else have anything else on the budget?
No.
All right. 2120 Water Street, the Hathaway House, as we all know, it's been raised. It came down, which is sad.
Yeah.
It's an odd word to use when things get torn down, you're raising it.
Yeah.
I've always thought that it's like
Yeah.
I know it's not the same spelling, it's not the same word. but
Right,
I've
but
always
it's-
thought that's a cruel,
At first you have to stop and think.
yeah, is it raise, did we raise it? No, we raise it.
So the question becomes, I think it is part of the National Register District to notify Ben Haley. He's the National Register District guy
Oh,
at
yeah.
Mass Historical Commission. Just that it's been, you know, it no longer exists.
So on Macris, that they would change it to. former site,
Eventually,
yeah.
or they might say, you know, I don't know, whatever
Or how are they worded?
their designation is.
He knew that it was in poor condition.
I don't know if he knew or
Oh,
not,
okay.
you know. I think it won't change the district right away because the national parks that oversees the National Register districts are so far behind in things and that's only gonna get worse depending on what happens with their budget.
But even still, there's still history enough with the land itself.
Right.
So I mean, would they like crop it out of the district with the house not being there?
I don't know what they would do. I
Huh.
don't know, you know,
Interesting.
yeah. So I guess that'll be a learning experience for us. And when their houses are in the National Register District, as we know, that is the honorary
Hmm.
designation. There are no guidelines that can tell the homeowner what they can do with their property. That happens if the town has accepted a local historic district.
Mhm.
So for us to go to, we have no power to influence. I mean, the house could be painted purple.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be able to say anything. If it's in the local historic district, then you make your bylaws that have to be followed. And we don't have those.
What if the neighbors like complain about the new design?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
That's what somebody said on Facebook. Oh, I wonder what the town's gonna allow to go in there
Town
now
has no say.
for a building or
No, I know, I know.
whatever.
Oh,
Well, as of right now,
yeah.
well, it has to be residential, it has to be a house.
It's going to be a
It has
house
to be a house. It can't be anything else.
by zoning.
Correct.
Yeah,
So I did meet the developer that was there, and I believe he said he was gonna put a townhouse in. And I requested that he kind of make it blend in to a historic district. I
mhm,
mean, I can't tell him what to do, but I said, and that would be nice if you could do that for us.
yeah.
So,
I think you were at the last meeting, but I mentioned at the last meeting that the previous owner, which I didn't realize that, so they came before zoning a while ago. And I recused myself from the case, even though it didn't matter because me being on the soil commission was not going to affect my voting as a zoning because the house was coming down anyway.
Mhm.
So they couldn't say, oh, you're voting no because you're on the soil commission, you want to save it. It wouldn't have mattered, but I still just supposed to separate myself from it anyway. And the residents were actually kind of for it coming down because they said it was gonna clean up the area. The house
Well,
that's
I
there
know-
now, and then the person that's there put not drawings, designed by computer drawings of what the house they were going to propose looked like, and it did fit within the neighborhood. But since then, Pat has said it's actually a different owner now.
mhm.
So the second owner, they will have no because the second owner, the variance has already been approved. They don't need to come back, the new owner does not need to come before zoning, so. The zoning board is never gonna see
Mhm.
unless they need to come back for something else, which
Right.
I don't think they'll need to,
Right.
but, and even if it was, the zoning wouldn't have a say.
Mhm.
The only way we can do it is when there was a 40B comes in.
Mhm.
Like a Strawberry Fields kind of thing, where it's like,
Mm.
we want them to look like this, we want to have certain number of cottage style, then we can dictate it, but like in
Yeah.
a case like that, we have. It doesn't matter what it looks
Mhm.
like,
Maybe it's time to have a bylaw,
that's,
like forcing new owners to build their new houses that would fit in with historic.
that's what the local historic district would be,
Yeah, exactly.
but we don't have that.
Well, I know again, there was the comment, why couldn't the town have taken it over and saved it? And I'm like,
Yeah, good
people,
luck.
you don't realize
I
the
understand.
house
but
was beyond repair.
Beyond.
I heard that. I also heard that today. And I also heard that they hope that we are thinking about saving Smith Memorial Hall, like, you know what I mean? Like that. I don't know, or not that,
Oh, the
like
Carnegie.
Carnegie Hall, yeah, Carnegie Building,
Wow.
because they were like, wait, you're gonna let that go too? I'm like, but we didn't. It's not like we let it
Yeah.
go.
Hmm.
Well, and one of those things is too, like as we said a long time ago, one of our meetings, we can't do anything with that until it's no longer being the library. We can't do anything with that until that's done being built.
Right.
So we'll have to wait
Yeah.
until at least September.
Yeah,
I do think that the town officials in town, including us, are aware of the historical significance of the Carnegie Building. And certainly the people that I have talked to want to keep it historic.
Right.
You know, what's gonna happen in these budget times, it's gonna, I don't know, but it's not gonna come down.
No.
Good. But what is it gonna be used for? That's.
Yeah, who, at this point, I don't know.
It's going to be the future office of the Historic Commission.
That's right.
Mm.
I tell everyone
And that's where we're gonna keep all of our lovely
our stuff.
So to tell all these people out there and.
I almost wanted to say to somebody, we do have a historical society that is still trying to keep the integrity of a historical building, and it was a good thing that that went through last night, because, you know, they kind of forget that, yeah, there is
And-
some historic buildings that are being
Are allowed.
kept.
And there is
Definitely.
also confusion with us as the commission.
Yeah,
And the Historical
that was before I
Society.
joined, I know.
So the Historical Society is a private nonprofit. Do they have money to do stuff? No.
No,
We're the town historical side. Do we have money to do things in our budget? Not when we have fiscal year 25, $1,400, and next year we have 600.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know,
Hmm.
so we don't have a big budget. We can't go and like save it, you know, use cash to save a building.
especially when it's gone to the point.
That it ha-
Beyond
that it
repair.
hasn't, right,
Mm.
right.
Oh,
I mean, you'd be talking more to save the house than what the house and the land is worth combined.
Yeah,
So,
Sad, but I mean, it's.
yeah, it is.
true.
It's sad.
it is, are we in agreement then to notify MHC,
Mm,
Mass
Yeah.
Historical
Mhm.
Commission? Okay.
Do you speak with them directly or is it through a text or a?
I usually email them. I probably can call.
Well, the reason I'm asking, when I was in Berkeley talking with the people from the Berkeley Historical Society, we were talking about signage for old homes. And I showed her the picture I have of the maroon
Yeah, yeah.
shape, and she said how pretty they were. And we talked about budgets and we said, you know, they were $1.25 for each person and we wanted to put some signage on town property. And she said, well, don't you go through the grant for that? I said, what grant? So here's a name and number of the woman from Berkeley. The Mass Preservation folks have grants to give small town,
Grants.
no, plaques for historic buildings.
The
So,
grant is for that specifically?
yeah,
Wow.
so why don't we take advantage of that? So that's her name.
Andrea
So I
Perry.
just thought if you were gonna talk, you know, if you want to talk to her, great, but couldn't you ask at the same time the Mass Preservation people that if you're gonna tell them about the other thing, get them up for two things at the same time? That's
So-
my thought.
Yeah, so this is Andrea Perry is the Mass Preservation. She's the
She's a Berkeley
Massachusetts
person,
Oh, she's from Berkeley.
Mm.
Okay.
all the way from Berkeley. But if you want to talk to her first before you send
Yeah.
something to the Mass Preservation people, is there a grant we qualify for and how do we go about?
Okay.
Mm.
Or you just want to go online and look and see what's there, but there,
Yeah, I've seen some.
but this Andrea person has gotten grant money through the Mass Preservation for historical markers for Berkeley.
Okay, that's great.
Hmm.
So Mass Preservation is different than the Mass Historical Commission.
Are they both government entities?
No, Mass Preservation is the one that does the, yeah, they're a nonprofit. Remember the conference we went to way
Oh, yeah,
long
right.
time? They're
Yeah,
the
that's-
sponsors of that, yeah. And they do the, the building one that we got James Briggs for.
Okay.
Remember when we, you know, I forget the. Oh, okay. Thank you, Pat. All right, unfinished business now. Preserving memories of Dayton. Hold on to your seats. We have a signed form. John Jagat is going to be our first interview.
And I just saw just now he's willing to do video too.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
he
So-
agreed to all the
yes.
provisions.
Did he have any comments on them?
Nope, he thought,
After all of that, after all
no,
of that.
because it answered his questions.
Oh, good. So they did a good
you
job
know,
then.
So,
Cool.
he's more than happy. He will,
She said within a month because he's visiting.
he has a
his
new
grand-
grandbaby.
That'll be good though, because that will give me time to talk to Cable.
Yeah,
And get a
and,
date down.
you know, you can reach out to him, via email. I'll share his email with
Okay,
you.
okay.
And he's willing to sit down. He wants to have an idea of, things to talk about. And, but he was more than agreeable. He's very excited. So, yay.
Where is he living?
Rainham,
Oh, Rainham.
I think, Taunton,
Uh,
Bridgewater.
West Bridgewater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would he be able to come out here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't sure how,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he used to be.
I haven't met him, I haven't.
The DDIC,
Yeah.
the Development Industrial Commission.
Now, didn't he live over on Horton Street?
You know him. He knows
Yeah.
who you are.
He does,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
think I
Tom,
took-
yeah,
I think I took care of his dad one
Nice man.
time at the hospital.
yeah.
Is he on
yeah.
Facebook?
And their
Okay.
house,
I think so. His
That's the one that got hit by lightning.
yeah, it burned. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I didn't
I'll-
realize that they weren't living in the house anymore.
Yeah, both his parents are gone and I don't know where his brother is. Yeah,
Oh.
I believe both his parents are, so you can ask Mr. Alley if he
Okay.
wants to.
All right.
We'll get him going. Okay. So we're beginning that.
All right.
Long time coming.
And
on
obviously,
that
if
one.
he prefers not to do video, that's obviously fine,
Well, that's,
more than fine.
All right, our walking tour pamphlets.
Is the finished product?
It's almost.
The Dayton Wharves one is
I think you need
because,
both of them. You need quorum.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Not aware I am. That's what half my stuff.
Two for you, two for me?
so I made I made
This is
a
nice.
substantial change to the layout where I took out the computer generated map of the properties. And by doing that, it allowed me to play the layout more. The downside is that it opened up a lot of space on the quorum one. So the quorum one, I think the way it's printed, you'll see those pictures on the side, so like right here. Those,
Talk about-
those won't be there.
Yeah.
It's just the way, because it was still on the slide when I emailed it to Pat, so how it printed. Pat and I are going to be sitting down, well, we already have, but to tweak that one way more, and that one will come. Oh, it's fine? That was good?
Yeah, I
Fantastic.
think it looks nice.
But the Wharves one is done. Done as in, edits were made. Obviously, there's a quick typo that we noticed. That's not what I mean by done, but like, there's no more content to add. I edited it with Pat. Tweaked, I did tweak everything that was suggested. If you remember the last brochure, I did not have the panel with the wharfs on it because I found that information in the first document that Pat sent me. I was able to squeeze that in. The way they fold, so Pat, can I just see the ones that I brought to your house? When I went to Pat's house, I like trimmed them with my paper cutter to make sure they fit like the right way. So this is the way they'll actually look. This,
Oh, instead of having this.
this does not have the edit. This one does not have the edits, but if you wanted to see the layout part, that's a better one to show you how it will fit when it's folded.
Yeah,
These are not gonna fit perfectly when you fold them. This is what it will look like on a 8x11 paper. When Pat and I go to the printer, we'll make sure that it's printed to the right size.
The printer will fold them automatically, right?
I would hope so.
They have the equipment
So
for that.
this will be an actual, this is it? In my.
Yes.
With the
It
picture.
would look like that, but with these edits, yes.
This looks lovely.
It does. look
That
very
lovely.
good, Yeah.
The
Very
color.
entry.
It does. It looks
love it.
old.
That's the
Yeah,
way,
it
and
looks lovely.
when I brought them the other night, and you guys got the black and white ones, and it didn't do it justice, but that's what it's.
Yeah, I like
It
that.
looks-
I actually just took an old map from Dayton and made it the background of the thing and just
Love it.
faded it, and
Yeah.
it's, but I didn't want white, I didn't want black, and I was like, I'll put a picture there, and the font to still be legible.
Yeah, it's great.
Rob, I did center the names on the front.
I did put our Facebook on the back. I'm sorry, I put our town link on the back with the new email address that we have. Typos because of my paper cutter at home. Rafa.
Maybe you already said this, and I apologize.
No,
because
please.
I wasn't listening because I was so impressed by the quality of what you had done. Did we say we were going to do anything to indicate the 2120 water isn't there?
We haven't, we need to talk about that, yeah.
Okay.
Can we just look at the,
You want to put a big stamp over it, you know, like.
Demolished.
raised? So while you're looking at we now have a Dayton Historical Commission email address. Good. So it's on the new one, one of the edits. So I guess, Rafa, you could put that on our Facebook page too. Let me see.
On the, not the back of the quorum one, I didn't update the middle panel. Look at the back of the warps one.
Yeah. Oh. So the Dayton Wharves one, if everyone
I know.
is good with it, this is done.
In terms of this, I mean, like I said, Pat and I looked at over this, there's not any typos. Pictures are all there. So the quorum one, Pat and I, now that we have more room to work with, we're going to add more information to it, which we'll do. But the Wharves one, I think is.
So I
done.
think for 2120 Water Street,
Former site of, I don't know how, I mean, we look at other guys and see how they've worded it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
It's nice to keep the picture there of what it was.
yeah,
definitely.
I'm wondering if we should flip on this one, put the address on top. So you put like,
Oh, I think you're right.
2130 Water Street, 2120 Water Street, and then you could put the former site of the John Hathaway House.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. So will the owners of these properties be notified about this tour?
Yes, I was
Oh, good
thinking
question.
about that today, actually, when I was driving back from
Because we don't have
town
people
hall.
loitering outside. like, where-
Yeah, I think either we can invite them to a meeting, or we can just send them a letter with the brochure, saying that,
Because like we put in the back of it, I mean, the roads are public property.
yeah.
I mean, we don't have to technically. We're not
No, but
going on
But
the
it would
property, but we
be,
should
it
let
would
them.
be a nice.
It's
thing
a
courtesy. No,
to
absolutely.
Notify
But
them
like,
and then give them a brochure. too.
Yeah.
But if someone were to come back and say, I don't want you doing this, I mean, they can't tell us tomorrow.
Yeah, or people taking photos and whatnot of the property.
I want to ask somebody that, is it legal to take a picture of someone else's house?
Yes, it is.
From the street.
So from the
Like,
street,
From the street,
because we
right?
had a realtor send us advertisement.
Oh, with your house on the envelope?
That's
We got one of
hysterical.
those too.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
And your
they
house, was your house for sale or just?
No.
They just used your house as, that's so
They
funny.
said, this is what, could happen or could look like. And we've had several phone calls lately asking people. My
You're
husband-
moving, are you moving?
My husband already told him what he had for an asking price, and the person, all of a sudden, that we had this. He says, it's not for sale unless you want to pay that price. 600,000.
Every time Becky gets a call, she says, $2 million. They hang up on her right away.
Ryan's house is 659, isn't it?
Who?
Ryan's house.
Oh,
on the
I don't
bottom of
know.
Wow, is it really?
Is
Wow.
legitimately 659.
Wow.
So if your husband thinks 600 is crazy.
That's not out of the realm of
I'd
possibility.
open if I were him.
I'll
Yeah.
call him.
No, really?
It's beautiful inside.
No,
I mean, it's all been gone through. So there's new everything, plumbing, wiring, new septic, new everything. Yeah, crazy thinks you're gonna get 659 for that.
Well,
They're all
the
ridiculous right now.
historical house,
Mm.
kind of diagonal from town hall, they want 850,000 for that.
Wait,
Big red
the one,
house.
Oh,
I know what you mean. It's
The
blue
Briggs
now.
house,
Yes,
yeah,
blue.
the Briggs
For
house,
sale, right?
where Mary Lou
Watson.
Watson lived.
oh.
How much?
They just bought it not that long
850.
ago.
859?
How
I'm not
much land?
surprised.
This-
I don't know how much land is there. That might be.
lot of work.
Oh,
they
yeah,
did.
that one's
They
had a
did,
lot of
yeah.
work.
Did Tim's Ryan, not to speak ill, but did Tim's Ryan house need a lot of work on the inside?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Nobody
it
had done
didn't?
anything for 30 years, 40 years.
Yeah.
His mom was quite elderly and he lived there with his mother and,
I knew that, I wasn't sure
yeah, they
how.
didn't do
Oh.
anything.
But it's, they have,
But
it has the pocket doors.
Oh, I mean, I know, it's a
gorgeous,
beautiful house, but.
Yeah.
And you just see the outside of it and it really, they've like
Brightened it up.
brightened it up, fixed up the.
I wasn't
yard.
sure at first I liked the blue color, but
Me
it's,
neither.
it's,
It's-
okay.
it's,
I
yeah.
was just, I like the green and the off-white with it.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was so pretty.
Mm.
so, and anyway, there's a squeaky mouse in here.
It almost sounds like an alarm,
It
like,
does.
like not going off, but like a like
Or maybe
a.
it's bad or something. with
That's, that sounds like,
batteries.
it sounds like, it sounds like a smoke detector when the bar,
Yeah.
when the alarms, the battery's dying.
So in this, we were thinking of adding more information and I had a thought. We can talk about the Taunton Yacht Club that is there now because that building is probably at least 50 years old. And they do have, and I know, they did send me the picture that says the Whitmarsh Wharf. We could talk a little bit about it being Charles Whitmarsh's wharf and stuff. So there's some more history facts we can add to the Coram Shipyard one.
Pat and I went through the National Register and we found the nomination form and found a lot more detail that we could include. And then we have options of what we can do there, but with the space, it wasn't like we were, what do we do? We can't think of anything. It was more like, what should we do? Because we have a number of things.
Mm.
Obviously, there's only so many pictures of the Taunton Yacht Club in postcard form. Like, I didn't want to put 7 of those or 3 or 4 of the same, you know what I mean? So like, there's.
I think we can highlight the present
The present
Taunton
one.
Yacht Club a little bit too, and a little bit about, you know, that building, because it's a contributing, I think it's a contributing building to the register,
Are-
the district.
Are there any spots along the Berkeley side, public property, that are easily accessible to go take a picture of it from that side without being in the?
Oh, I don't know.
The end of
Oh, what?
Water Street.
What if you went to Dayton Rock Park with a really good camera? It's a nice view. I mean, it's a nice, and you can go to Dayton Rock Park all you want. And there's trails and stuff, so you don't have to stay at the building. Go in the
Okay.
woods, go in the woods and just
Yeah.
get back to the water. So I don't know how far you could get, but yeah, I'm sure you could get a nice shot.
Yeah, we can walk in there all the time. But she could.
If you're interested, the people. in
Oh, you're
Berkeley-
right, yeah. And there's a very, very nice house that's right there.
Okay.
Like, that's a beautiful house. I've been in the house. I used to have a friend who lived there.
Oh, they
Um,
don't know how we could
And,
go.
and they live directly across from it,
Oh.
like, right there, right there. That's the house.
Is
right
there a
there.
road that goes right down there?
Their long private driveway.
Oh,
But they have an elevator in house, they have a wine cellar, they have heated
Oh,
floors, yeah, yeah, anyway, but
People in Berkeley are planning a lecture on the 4 bridges that have been in the place of the Dayton Berkeley Bridge.
oh, what is that?
It's coming up, I believe, in August.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I believe it's a Sunday, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's free, blah, blah, blah.
oh, that would.
There were
be
4
interesting.
bridges
Yeah,
that
yeah.
were there and they're gonna have pictures and talk about them all.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Eden's are doing it.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, so we'll add some more content to this and then review it, and this one will be ready to go. But I think if you flip it
Mm.
that way,
Yeah,
Definitely,
then if you wanted to keep, I mean, I think this is fine, but if you wanted to keep the same format, you could do it here too.
it does not matter to me, I just,
I don't know
However-
if
however-
anyone's like OCD, if you want to put,
it would drive, you know how the other day we were talking about something and like the format was different, I was like, Pat, I have to change it on one, because if I change it on one, I
have to change
can't.
it on the other.
So like it,
Yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, I can see that.
so.
The address is on top and then the house name underneath.
Were you talking because you don't, I mean, I could squeeze in like a smaller font than that, like former site of above it. Oh, then it's gonna throw
Yeah, but
off.
it
It's
goes,
gonna throw
yeah,
off,
but it
isn't
doesn't read right. Former site,
Of the former site of the John Hathaway house.
I guess you could.
How are you thinking of wording it? I mean,
Put the
that way, but
address
like,
on top and then just, you know, site of the John Hathaway house. It's not the former site. It's still going to be. the
right,
site.
former site, right, it's still,
Yeah,
it's
it's still
the
the
site of the former house. site of the former house. Cause it's,
I have to look and see how some other places.
Former site sounds fine.
Former site.
Site of the
Mhm.
Hathaway house. It's the site
yeah, right,
of the
yeah.
house. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Better than the big red X I wanted to put on it. Boom. Demo.
Is it some crime show when the cops going through getting all the killers, like, all right, one down.
You could put another one bites the dust, but that wouldn't be.
Oh, too soon. The wood's not even cold yet. The wood's not even cold yet.
What wood? It was all hauled away. It's not even there. If I can have a brief aside, one of the pictures had a circle of the chimney. There was
I saw
a
that.
panel of a door.
Yeah,
Okay, was that to indicate that there was a secret room behind the
Yes.
chimney?
I don't know, I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
you.
No one commented on it, so they put a picture
No,
of the
there was,
chimney.
there was a
And there's
comment.
a white panel door way up
Yeah.
there. And what would it be for if not a hiding place?
Somebody made a comment further down.
Because when I read it, there was no comment. And I was
Oh,
going
it
like,
must
gee,
have been
well,
afterwards. then.
okay.
See if I can find it. Continue talking.
Okay, so anyway,
Do we need a vote to approve? Do we want to approve both at once? I mean, I'm not gonna touch the Dayton Wharfs one. So I don't know why, it's up to you, but I mean, obviously, we're not ready to vote this one in yet because it's not done yet. But did you want to wait? One, do we need a vote? Two, do you want?
why don't
to
we
wait?
just do a vote for the Dayton Wharves one, get it done and it's finished, so that we can
Hmm.
just move on to the,
And then do we need to? Oh, the printing was from the the donations. We don't have to work
Right.
trying to get that done in time.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the walking tour brochure for the Dayton Ward's National Historic District.
So moved.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. And we'll work on this one.
But I mean,
Alright.
either way, I think they should both be done in time to get. Do
Yep.
you think the walk in September, October?
Well, that's next. So we talked about doing the walk-ins, tentative date for September. I looked at, tentative plans for the grand opening of the library. That is going to be on a Saturday in September. We have lots of plans. It's going to be like a full day thing, a ribbon cutting, speeches. I guess in
A
19,
walk from the Carnegie
Yeah.
Library down to the new library.
at the, in 1911, they walked
Serious?
to the Carnegie the Carnegie Library when it opened.
From where?
I don't know where they walked from off the top of my head.
They walk from town hall.
Town Hall from here? I don't know,
No.
because the library was here.
Do you
Yeah.
think, do you think they would feel like we'd be stepping on their toe, not stepping on their toes, stealing their thunder if we tried to do our thing too?
On the same day, yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't work.
If they weren't planning as much, then I would say, but
So
it sounds like they're like,
it's a big,
as they should, obviously, but.
so they're like a rededication kinds of things. Hold on, page one helps. On a Saturday, like 10 to 3, they're gonna have, invited guests, all of the government kinds of people, past library trustees, staff, friends, anyone that's been involved, people from Granite City, Bristol, Plymouth.
It's gonna be huge.
They should invite Mike Mullen.
Yeah, Mike Mullins on
Oh,
the
yeah,
list.
true.
Yeah, there's a whole list of dignitaries.
I'm assuming.
I would
that
hope they
news
would
is
ask
coming,
Mark
right?
Pacheco and Pat
Oh,
Haddad.
yeah. Yeah, because they were
They
big.
were, right, they're not anymore what they were at the
So
time.
they're all on the list.
I assume they're in the
There'd
news,
be a
right?
tribute to the Andrew Carnegie building. And then a procession from 395 Main Street to the 207 Main Street. Friends and patrons carrying books to present them to the library director and
That's cool.
trustees.
That's one way to move the book.
Not the worst idea.
Doesn't cost anything, looks
It's
good.
gonna be ceremonial.
Yes, that's
How
ideal.
people do it?
Very
So,
smart.
how about small children?
That was a
Let's tug at
genius-
their heartstrings. Here, you hold these two. Go ahead, go ahead.
please, sir, take these books.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that? That was a great idea. Great idea.
Let's have a
It's a
little
great idea.
The winner will win something.
Yeah. Can you carry 4 books? Get going.
Get going. Just be careful crossing 138.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, all right, yes.
Now, having grown up on Pleasant Street, we used to walk to the library, so the danger part was crossing, as we called it, the highway.
Pat, that's when you were 30, you said that.
Yeah, when I was 30. So, like they're gonna have speakers, and then during the week, it's gonna be like the grand opening week, they'll have themed days. Like, one day for kids, one day for teens, one day for a special kind of audience, maybe fiction
Oh,
readers.
it's like what one's open, you mean?
um,
Like
yeah,
after, week
it's
after, you
open.
mean?
Yeah, yeah. So, lots of stuff to do.
Mm.
So we really, can't, like tag on to them, but we could do like the Saturday after,
Yeah.
the Saturday after one of the
Do
Saturdays.
you think they would mind us mentioning it or handing out, not handing out, but like it'd be a good time to get the word out there too.
It would,
But even that's risky if like stealing
yeah,
thunder too.
I mean, I don't,
know.
yeah. I think we'll be okay because we'll be able to put it on our Facebook page. We'll put it to the other Dayton Facebook pages. We talk about it.
That sign. that-
And
We can have the Lions Club put it on, but we should have sign up because you can't have a crowd of 50 and never be able to hear them all. We'd never get across the highway.
and even if we
It's
don't,
like a big banner, like announcing it.
I mean, you put it on the highway signs.
Okay.
The Lions Club will do that, so.
and even if we don't announce anything that day of the opening, we can hang something in the library because people will be going there. I'm just thinking it's a good way to get a lot of people who might not be on the social media, might not be on the Facebooks, who are going to this, who would never have heard of us doing it. But because at the library, they would.
Mhm.
Obviously, it wouldn't be right to announce it, but like even hang it up in the library, that library is going to be more traveled in that week.
We
Oh,
can make
yeah.
a flyer.
That we should be, that I would think would be allowed to hang up in the library. Not, even if we're not like, actively saying next one being like, come to a thing,
Actually,
but.
you could make like a little flyer that kind of has the same background,
Okay,
Mm.
yeah,
and, just a layout, walking tour, blah, 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 or in a space for the date and
Definitely.
time and, okay.
because we don't want to give those out until after we do it,
Oh,
right?
boy, you said something that triggered a memory. Or we could make him one of those sandwich boards. That's the guy, that was the guy.
Oh,
Move on, please.
I'm serious, I'm dead serious. The guy whose last name was Ashley and he lived in Berkeley.
and we called them Quack Quack.
Call him whatever you want. Call him that.
No, because
So
he
he
walked
would
by.
come to Dayton with,
It's a wooden board in the front of them and a wooden board in the
and
back.
it's got, they call it a sandwich.
Yeah,
board.
I know they
He was
are.
advertising for religious things,
Yes.
wasn't he? Okay, so you could do our upcoming, and people would say, I remember that old guy that used to come. See, it's historic. That's a
That
memory.
lives on.
That's a memory
That's
to
on the
you.
tour.
I think that's a fantastic.
It is. It's a lovely idea.
I would not do it, but I'll do it for Pat.
Thank you. Thank you.
You'll come in here one day, like.
And they'll say, you know who used to do that? And you say, yes, I do now.
That's the only person that I would do that for.
Oh.
It's either that or I call the girlfriend, one or the other. See, he'd love to put that sign on. What the hell?
And it's her number.
I think we have a budget for sandwich board, right?
Oh, it's cheap. Come on,
Oh,
it's cheap.
yeah. We can make 2 posters in yarn.
Like we're just recyclable cardboards.
Exactly.
But he always walked the
Yeah, he
streets of
did.
Dayton.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
So-
You're way too young for
Was
that.
he mentally sane?
Yeah.
Stable?
How fresh. Yes. he
No,
Yes.
I didn't know if he was like the people that you see hanging on the side of the street, in the top
No,
green kind of thing.
no,
I don't,
No,
like, I'm not trying to be.
he was
offensive.
kind of a loner. He didn't
Yeah.
socialize
He
with
was
a
the
lot.
gardener, wasn't he?
Weren't there 2 brothers and one?
There were 2 brothers, so I don't want to say, okay, I'm not positive about this. One of them was the gardener for Clayton Atwood when he was
Right.
the selectman. So
Okay.
Clayton Atwood sold the home. We ended up renting the home. I look out the window one day and there's a guy doing the shrubs. Hell, what's this? So I called the landlord and said, there's a guy, and he said he used to do it for Clayton and get paid. And now he does it because
It's just like a-
he wants it to be done. But he
Right.
never got
Mm,
paid,
mm.
but we had our own private gardener.
Mm.
Another Dayton memory. Right?
There we go.
Rattling them off here.
Interview Pat.
And this one kind of has the same build
Well,
as Mr. Ashley. I mean, he was thin, he was
Thank you.
tall.
there you go. There you go.
I remember that.
Oh,
meeting.
yeah, yeah.
He'd walk in the rain.
He walked all the time, all over.
How long are we talking? 10 years?
Oh, no, longer than that.
Said, blah, 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 blah. I lived in Ernie's house. Late seventies,
Oh,
very
yeah.
early eighties.
So yeah, my parents weren't even in town. Yeah, my parents were,
Yeah.
I mean,
So the one I'm thinking of, they're not the same. The one that was thinking of, the guy that walked around. I think he was in Ashley too, and he walked all the streets and he'd go by you and say, instead of saying hello, he would make a quacking sound at you.
Honestly, no.
so that's what you,
no,
that's what you
no,
called him.
no.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That guy was probably a little off his nut, but no, I got.
That's what I was thinking.
No,
No.
yeah,
That's my,
yeah.
okay.
So, in fact.
Maybe he reserved that just.
Right, do we know that? Maybe it was his mating call. I don't
Maybe
know.
you weren't special enough.
That's it. Thank you. I
That's
wasn't
right, Pat.
special.
That's
Because
right.
that
Yes.
gentleman, his brother, was former Chief Ashley's uncle.
Okay, yeah, they would be,
They lived at the house like right over the bridge.
Yeah.
You know those two houses that are right
Yeah.
there? Boom.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, the things we remember.
I know.
Well, I think Ashley's house got torn down and that's where that historical
Right.
park is right now.
Right. Yeah, because it was really run
It
down.
was rotted.
Oh,
rotted,
yeah,
rotted.
it was
Yeah, they
rotted.
didn't take
Yeah.
it because of water damage.
So, all right, now moving on to historical markers. Pat always gave us some information. Zach, you
Mhm.
reached out to Warren.
I did. I went to their town hall, spoke to their town administrator, who gave me the contact information for the people on their historical commission. When I emailed two of them to the contact she gave me, one got back to me saying, quote, it's a bit complicated because I was like, here we go. One of our members cuts the markers for us at no charge, and
Wow.
another entity does the printing. She said, let me ask the company who prints them and maybe they can also cut them for you.
Wow.
So then Pat was like, yeah, go ahead and ask her. And then another
We
one,
offered to make them, remember?
We did.
Yeah, we did. You people didn't take us seriously, but we were gonna do it.
and then another one
We
got
may
back,
have to,
another one got back to me, and I think
after August, please.
she didn't, I don't know if she didn't understand my question, but she didn't quite give us the answer. She said the historic house markers in Warren are awarded by the Warren Preservation Society, a private nonprofit.
Historical
So
Society.
she was like, contact Elaine, who was the person that emailed me back first, or the town administrator, whom I already talked to. So I emailed her back saying, after I met with you,
Yeah.
to let
On
me
the
know.
commission, do you have a woman named Carol Gafford? Is that one of the names you have?
Carol Meeker.
No, Carol Gafford.
No,
No, okay.
no, she gave me two, Elaine.
She's either the Warren, because she's Warren and Swansea, or Historical Commission or Historical Society.
I think it's
I'm not sure.
society.
For both towns?
Warren,
She's For both towns. I just
Yeah.
don't know in which capacity.
I think she's in the society. for
Okay.
both,
Yeah, the two that gave me, it was an Elaine Collins and a Carol Meeker, who were both on the commission for Warren.
Carol or Carl? Hmm.
Carol Meeker and
Oh.
Elaine Collins.
Carl is the head of Swansea
Yeah.
Historical
Society.
Society, and Cheryl is the number 2 person.
Okay. Okay.
So I said yes, even though obviously I didn't say this part, but in my mind I was like, is it worth it? Well, I'm not, at this point, we don't care about getting the same
Yeah.
deal they're getting. I just want a name. So
Right.
she said that she'll give me whatever. She's
Okay.
gonna email me
Okay.
the information, so.
I called the Westport Historical Chair. and I haven't gotten any response.
Why don't you use your Craig Dutra connection?
Craig Dutra, isn't he out in California?
No,
No, he's
he's
in
the
Westport.
selectman of Westport,
Oh,
and he grew up in Dayton right
I know
under
he
your
did.
nose.
I know, yeah, I know Craig.
Right,
I
so
didn't know he was a.
Why not reach out to him as selectman and say, could you help us out here?
Okay, I didn't know he was there. Which douche was out in California?
There's a zillion of them.
I know. I had a thought though, Rafa, if you wanted to put it on the listserv for, you know, the Mass Historical Commission there, maybe that would help.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah,
like
ask who,
seeking.
seeking names for,
Sign makers.
yeah, historical marker sign makers.
Mhm.
Because enough towns have.
And there's
them.
350 towns in Massachusetts. I mean, like, there's
Yeah.
gotta find somebody.
Well, it's a dying profession, I would think.
Right.
Oh, I finally got to speak with Mike Rose earlier today from BP.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've been like playing phone tag like
Yeah.
for 4 or 5 weeks. So finally we were able to chat. Basically, he said that they can do it, but the problem is they don't have the specific color that we want, the cranberry apple. He thought it was like purplish. No, it's not purple, okay? It's far from purple. It's
Can we
specifically cranberry
provide,
apple.
provide him with
can we
paint?
provide them with
We
that?
give them the whatever materials?
Well, this is what he said. He said that, you know, if you're free, you can come, you know, to our shop and you can take a look yourself. Because what we can offer, what we can provide, we can do everything, the materials we have, but that specific color that you're looking for, we don't.
Okay,
So maybe you and I can go and
yeah,
check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very nice.
Did he seem to think that, did it seem to you that we couldn't bring the paint that we have?
No,
yeah,
but they do have, they have PVC, they have wood, they have plastic, and they have like metal and whatnot.
So it's June, like when's too late, you know?
Because school is
Yeah,
probably
so
over
when
next
too
week.
late?
Yeah.
Couple.
I like legit next, I mean, I know
School year is next week.
Swansea's
it's
out,
done.
Swansea's out next week.
Oh.
Swansea's out next week, Dayton's out the week after that. I don't know when BP's out, but I would assume it's going to be within the next week or two.
Yeah.
So it has to be during the week, not a weekend, because.
And within the next week or two, unless
Yeah.
the teachers, unless you guys contact and he's there over the summer a little bit.
yeah, call him and see what he has for availability and,
Okay, so
Because
we're
it might be
flexible, our
too late.
schedules are flexible.
yeah, we can make it work, yeah.
I'm sorry. what?
Okay,
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah, depending on the kids and stuff.
And if he's a shop teacher, maybe he's in there
might be.
more than
Yeah.
other teachers would be after the fact.
yeah.
Do they
Yeah.
have the
He's a carpenter
graphics?
instructor. He's
They have-
Kevin retired, so.
Oh, okay.
They have the graphics to do the lettering and everything?
Yeah.
The
we did.
vinyl.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. Did they give you, did he say a price?
Because I don't
Yeah,
feel
but
like
print
taking
shop.
down my sign and show it to him.
Did he say a price or anything?
No, but I did mention that Kevin charges $35 for the James
Mhm.
Briggs house.
So wait, did you just show him the exact sign or a picture of it?
A picture,
So maybe seeing the real one in person, the color will be different.
probably.
Not different, but like if there's a picture of it, if there's the sun, the glare or the shade or something, or
Yeah,
Well, you've got that
maybe,
one
because
that
if you
I
have something you
dragged
thought was
all over the
purple,
place.
I can see why one would think it's purple based on the picture if the shade was, so maybe they do have the color. If, you know, seeing it in person, I don't know.
Well, we can go and talk to him and, you know, see.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to take down my sign again.
Well, she's
I
got
got
that
the-
one.
We have the one from, we have the
She's
one
got
from,
that one,
Bring it with you.
the one
Yeah.
that wasn't that great, right? You
Right,
have the,
yeah.
I
yeah.
have that.
that's what I took.
That's
off.
what I assumed, the one that we got
The
that wasn't,
one,
That wasn't even cranberry apple. That was like the closest they could have.
that's the closest, we have that one, but maybe you should bring yours and we'll bring that one, so we can tell them.
Unless somebody makes a motion to change, to modify the color to maroon or to whatever
Yeah,
color is
but-
closest.
We bring both of them and then say, this is what we want, this is what we don't want.
right, right. Before-
Good.
Sales
Yeah,
pitch.
Yeah,
All right, so I'll take down my sign and you bring
Yeah.
the sign.
Because I like that color, that's.
I do too. I do like, I do like the color that we
The
have.
original.
Yes.
But I bet they probably have something so close, you
You-
might not.
Yeah, I would.
And how can they not
How-
mix it?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I mean, at Lowe's, you can mix any, well, I don't know what kind of paint mix they have there, but.
You know, this cranberry apple, like.
and you take the sign and you hold it up to the palette and.
And you say, oh,
Yeah.
that is close enough, no one has
The
ever.
paint- the paint mixers at Lowe's are amazing. The ones where you can pull a thing off the wall and you read it under a computer and it prints out, it mixes something
Everything.
exactly. It's unbelievable
Right.
how those things work. I'm not saying BP does or doesn't have that. I'm just saying that like, is
Dutch boy paints, right? Yeah, Dutch boy paints.
that the brand of it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, all right, we have a plan.
I
Yeah.
have a
we
plan,
have a
so I'm gonna
couple-
call him back and then
Yeah.
see, ask him for his flexibility and then.
Yeah. Okay, all right, moving on. CPC will be meeting on June 19th. They're scheduled to meet on June 19th. The library building committee will meet on this Thursday, June 12th. We had a special meeting on May 22nd to act on the bids regarding the flooring and electrical, including light fixtures. And I brought this to show you the light fixtures. These are the lights that will go in the main reading room, the one at the top. You can kind of see the chandelier, you can pass this around, the chandelier will go in the fireplace room.
Oh, isn't that nice?
The children's room, Lori picked out some cloud lights.
Mm.
And this yellow pendant light kind of looks like the sun. And then in the, where the kitchen was, it's like the program room, craft room was gonna just have bar lights so that there's good lighting for when people are doing crafts and stuff. So I really like the dome lights for the main hall. I think that's gonna look really fantastic.
Which one is that one?
Up at the top, the
This one?
brass, yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah, I like it too.
Are there
Yeah.
any light fixtures or things like that in the Carnegie building that they're gonna reuse? Not, that they, is there any,
really.
oh,
I
that
don't
can
think
reuse? I
Oh,
mean,
what, in the Smith Hall, you mean?
No,
Thi- thing-
I thought he really meant Carnegie Building.
like, is there any, like, are there like light sconces in the Carnegie building that they're gonna reuse in the?
No, they're gonna
there's
leave
nothing.
those there, but there are lights that are already in Smith Hall that will stay
That they're
there.
reused. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Rafa, just because I don't want, June 18th is the last day for students and teachers at BP.
That one. Mhm. You done?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, yeah, I like the chandeliers too.
Shows with us.
Mm.
That's nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's gonna look spectacular,
Oh, yes.
you know?
All those
Um,
naysayers.
So America's 250th Anniversary Committee. The Ezra Stiles presentation is this Saturday, June 14th at noon at the Dayton Community Church. There'll be a reading of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th. Details on that will be out soon. Both of those are hosted by the community church. We have Dayton Militia certificates for sale. You can become a member of the Dayton Militia for $25.
I saw
It's a
that the other night.
fundraiser. We're also selling Hilliard candy bars for sale.
You go broke.
Candy bars date back to the 250th.
Yes.
Yes. Antique candy
And
bars.
there was
Much-
chocolate.
Much healthier too. Everything organic.
I have to
Yeah.
tell you, Massachusetts, the American Tapestry,
Yeah.
they are doing chocolate as the theme of the unsung heroes. Chocolate was served as a drink during the Revolutionary War.
Like hot chocolate or cold chocolate?
It was,
I don't think it's like chocolate like we know it.
no, it's not chocolate like we know it.
It's just like bitter, like cocoa, like
Didn't
cocoa
bring
puffs?
us any?
You didn't bring us any, no.
No, I didn't, but I've got a picture of the,
I don't want a picture. I wanted a sample.
Describe to me how it tasted and maybe I'll taste it.
Yeah, maybe like a chocolate wine.
it was like,
Ooh.
it was
Have you ever had chocolate?
I have had chocolate
supposedly,
wine, actually.
I've had good and
Oh,
I've had.
Same,
crap. Yeah,
same.
depends.
Very
that is the tapestry
Margarita.
that,
Oh, that's
Mhm.
beautiful.
that we're,
That you're
it
gonna-
wasn't what we wanted.
Yeah,
We wanted to use Deborah Sampson.
yeah.
And then I
So that's
said,
from the guild that
Yeah.
she belongs to.
the American Tapestry, well, this Stefan is doing all 13 colonies. And it's going to be on display when it's done in Williamsburg. So the Massachusetts one is being done by members of our guild and a couple of other people.
That's great.
And we
So
kept saying
who did that?
chocolate. That was designed, I think, by the Lexington Historical Society did
Wow.
that. And it's like 10 by 16
Wow.
it's a good sized
That's
panel.
awesome.
Good. That's
Mm.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
my girlfriend, who's chairman and in charge, because we've got other people from up around the Boston area, one out near Sturbridge, and then us from the guild.
Oh, cool.
And I had said to Chris, I said, there's a Conestoga wagon. She said, yes, there were Conestoga wagons around during the Revolutionary
Really?
War.
Hmm.
She
So-
said that is historically correct. But she didn't know about the chocolate part of it. So my girlfriend's husband did go online to see, and yes, chocolate was like a nourishing drink or whatever, because they got rid of the tea. So now what else do they have to do?
Well, you'll have to find a sample and bring it in July.
And you think about it, it's like, you know,
Is in July.
and mine's in August, so we're.
Mine's in
Right.
August too.
See?
I know they're gonna take the panel up to the Fuller Craft Museum in Brockton, I think, in August. And they were gonna combine like, different vendors with chocolate and do like a whole
Oh, that would be interesting.
community day type of a
Yeah.
thing. So the Fuller Craft Museum is gonna help
Nice. You have to
promote
let us
that.
know the date. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess it makes sense to drink coffee. I mean, it's similar to how you would do it with coffee, right? The same type of, would you like, how we extract it from the same way, how we, like, coffee's from,
Cacao.
right? I mean, it's
yeah.
from the same bean.
How about the mushroom coffee? Have you tried that?
I have, I
no,
thought it
I've
was
tried it.
terrible.
it? What
I did not like it.
I don't like mushroom in general, so I.
It was like bitter a little bit, like,
Is
I
it
don't know, it was
Rise?
a weird
RYZE
taste,
is
yeah.
the brand. I
did
tried it
not
for a
like
few
it.
months.
I did
You
not.
liked it?
It was okay.
Did you add anything to it? Did you add milk or sugar?
Yeah, like almond milk.
I tried to
brown sugar.
add.
Did it help?
No.
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 It's
Oh,
also
okay.
very pricey too. That's why I dumped it.
Oh,
I'm not gonna pay like $36, like, a
Oof.
month for
for something you don't
for
like?
something, yeah.
No.
Oh,
no, thank
wow.
you. No, thank you.
I'd rather have instant coffee.
Okay.
I'd actually rather have instant coffee and
I
I hate
love instant
instant-
coffee.
Nope.
Oh, my God, no. We're also, continuing to work on the Living History encampment for 2026, and talks are ongoing now with Bristol Aggie as the possible location.
Oh, that's good.
And plans are in progress for a Revolutionary War soldier monument. So things are starting to come together. Our next meeting date is July 8th at 6 o'clock. This will be our reorganization meeting. And Rafa and Irene, you guys are up for reappointment to the commission.
Yeah, I just asked
Yeah.
Shara, I
Yeah.
guess she said that.
You'll
who's-
get a letter in the
Okay.
mail and then it'll be like a black and white and whatever. And that's just for you to know that you have to come in and get your oath.
Yeah, you don't,
Oh, okay.
That hasn't always happened.
no.
I'll make sure.
Well, good.
But because I said to her, I was going to ask her last night, and I bet, no, not after last
No, no,
night.
So you don't have to do anything unless you don't want to
Okay.
be reappointed.
Oh, I'm staying on.
And Rafa, you got to
Somebody
stay.
wants to be the clerk? Because I make so many mistakes.
So,
Her red pen is running out of ink.
Right?
You notice she didn't red circle anything he did. No. She says that
Favoritism.
because she likes you better. Yes.
Well,
I noticed that.
when I looked at the minutes and I said,
Don't be jealous.
I looked at the minutes that you said, and I'm like, okay, these are good. And then I go to the next page and I'm like, this is exactly my notes.
actually, that's not
Red?
true. That's not true. The first copy I brought, she said, you spelled Gales wrong. You remember? I was like,
I can't help it.
well, I spelled your name wrong. I think you should-
It's like, right, how did you know that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
perfectionist.
I
Um,
saw this come in red, and I went,
Pat's been busy. Change that
So that's,
little
I send him my notes, so I make little notes so I don't forget anything. So my notes are on red on the agenda. So I sent it to Rafa to help him do the minutes. So then I look at it, it's like, I think I wrote this.
Hey, now it's perfect, right? There you go.
What happens when
There
we
you
have
go.
3-hour-long meetings, okay?
I just did it for you.
Transcript is necessary.
Thought he was being sarcastic by doing it in red? No, he's too kind. I would do that, but he didn't.
Oh, I just love it.
I mean, while we're on that topic, I think it was.
What, of Reading?
Bring it out in the open. Bring it out.
Rafa,
Bring it out.
Starting on, no. Last year around this time, you said you were thinking about not doing being chair. Seeing as it's a month away, what are your intentions?
Not doing what?
Being chair again. Do you remember that
Oh.
last year?
Oh, yeah.
She wanted to see some things.
I want to see some things.
Yeah,
finished,
I remember.
yeah.
So I mean, I guess because like thinking about it ahead of time, if this was
Yeah.
happening now, do you know what, if you?
We're
if-
almost there. I'll probably
Okay.
do next
So
year.
if you,
If nobody else wants
if you were
it,
nominated next month, you
Yeah.
would accept.
if nobody else wants it, yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure there
So
was.
you have another good year to accomplish what you want.
Yeah,
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 I would think you would want to stay in for the
right, for the, yeah,
50th.
get all that done, so,
Okay.
and then I'll be a member.
There you go. With a bang.
Yeah, but just, we have clerk and vice chair, so we really should divide that. And actually,
Yeah, I don't want to be vice chair.
you don't want to be vice chair? You want to be clerk?
Sure.
Well,
Really?
As long as we have Zoom
That
meetings, the
surprises me.
transcript and AI, I'm fine. I'm fine. Unless I'm used to it.
okay.
Well, I remember, I looked up like for zoning, we're reorganizing, finding a vice
I thought you
chair.
liked the title of
Don't
vice
need
chair. More than
No.
the job.
I'm like, what did he do? Like, I'm like, so like, it's like,
Really?
all that is like, if
Like,
I'm
clerk is
running
far
late to
more
the
important
meeting,
than being
assume that
vice
Greg takes
Yeah.
over.
Right.
If not, you have to vote someone to convoke the
Right.
meeting.
Vice
So I
president.
was like, where's the vice chair?
A vice president can only
There's no
do
vice.
something happens to the president.
It's,
Yeah.
they don't have any,
I'd rather be a
they don't
clerk.
have any more power. They don't assume, it's just, they just.
I'd rather
hear
be a
that.
clerk. I am surprised to hear that.
Would you like to be the vice chair? No. Irene, would you like to
We're
be
not
the vice
going
chair?
down that road.
I would,
Think about it.
I was actually thinking though, the vice chair should have a little more
Duties.
information like in the agenda building, partaking in the agenda building.
Right.
So that'll be one of my goals is to include the vice chair in that.
Let's see.
One of her goals.
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen.
That couldn't have been worded any better from Pat. That's one of my goals for you. One of my goals for you. Only Pat can word it that way. And
Well,
I
it's
love
not
it.
about,
It's all this paperwork that I don't want to do. I don't have time for that.
So then you don't want to be.
If I want paperwork, I just want to focus on the transcript on the
So-
minutes.
So then you don't want to be clerk
And
then. That's what
advertising on
clerk does.
Facebook and social media. I'm good at that stuff, but like doing the main thing, yeah.
Oh, you wouldn't want to be chair.
No.
but you can be vice chair. Well, the reason I say that
Yeah,
is the
But how
one,
many times, like, I've been a member, what, since 2019? And I've only led a meeting once, I think. Were you already the chair?
I was away.
You were away, yeah.
Yeah,
And this happened at the old office.
right,
Yeah,
right.
Town hall, yeah, I remember.
And
Nancy
then.
Goulart was there.
Oh,
Jim
was-
Aguirre attended. This is about the Nat Queen House.
Right,
The Nat Queen
right.
House, yeah.
So I was also thinking, in April when we had to cancel, and part of this is on me, is to share what the meeting's agenda is going to contain, which is kind of hard when you do it last minute because you procrastinate.
Rafa, you want this, right? Just asking if you want this is what.
No, what I'm saying is to share with the vice chair, the agenda so that the meeting can go on even if the chair isn't there. So,
But see, with Zoom, even if you're away, you can always attend a Zoom. You can always chair.
If you're sick or something like she was last time.
Yeah, she would.
there was no way.
I had the same thing. I had the same thing she had the weekend before.
But you can
Well, I
cancel,
away.
you can cancel the meeting.
No, there was a no way. Hold that thought. Hold that
I'm
thought.
gonna be in the bucket.
Pat, is that a yes or no?
And you
I guess Pat did not like that idea.
all you have to do is listen to your voice. We're just watching Netflix at the same time.
Yeah. All right, we didn't have any correspondence. I put historical sharing on in case anyone had anything else they wanted to share.
Yeah, this thing,
This thing, yes,
oh,
What thing?
the circle on the pink.
the
Oh,
hidden,
So what
the
did they say?
secret hideaway, whatever, for
Somebody
husbands
said that?
whose wives were trying to find them
When
They
they
said
were
that?
at
when
the
they get
tab.
drunk or
When
something.
they were at
They
the
said
tab.
that?
That's what it was for?
Yes.
I missed
Yeah.
all that. I looked earlier.
Yeah, I,
What happened to it?
Where men hid from their wives when they came looking for the husbands when it was a cub? Is he being facetious?
What happened to it, though? Who took it away?
They came down with the house.
it came down with a
With
house.
the house?
I mean,
Yeah,
Nobody saved it?
no,
No.
wow.
it's in dumpsters.
It's,
Is the dumpster, where's the dumpster?
Gone.
Long gone. That came down last
it's been like
week.
the Merv Griffin episode of Seinfeld when he's digging into the dumpster to get the Merv Griffin set. You're gonna be digging in the dumpster, trying to pull out the door from the
I'm not
house.
going.
I'm always like, yeah, I'll go with you because I need extra stuff.
How much?
So it wasn't an underground railroad thing. It was a husband's hiding from their irate wives.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So sad.
That's historical. Let's
This
put that out.
huge piece of Dayton history, gone forever.
What's it supposed to do, Dayton?
Only digitalized, saved in Facebook.
Wow.
So, all right, does anyone have anything else? No, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi, Captain.
That is it. I could tell. She got a few of them and you go, no, I got you, Irene. I'm gonna second it first.